Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Derek Reilly and today we're going to be looking at the Peugeot e-2008. So let's get started. Inside the 2008, what's the difference between this and the 208? Not a lot actually. This is the GT line and I'll be reviewing the 208 in the coming weeks. I actually got the 208 before this one, but seeing as I'm the first Irish YouTuber to get this, I bumped that up the list. If you haven't watched the 208 review on another channel, I'll run through exactly what this is and you'll see similarities then once you see my 208 or 208 review. I actually don't know, it's 2008, I get that, but I've always called it a 208, 207, 206, not a 208, 207, 206. But anyway, we will start with the driver display. So you get the iCockpit 3D. Some people have an issue with the fact that the steering wheel, depending on your height, will be adjusted so that you can't see the actual driver display. So let's zoom in and see if we can see the driver display. It is a fairly sunny day here. Okay, perfect. It's starting to zoom in there now. So on the left hand side you'll see the battery and you can see I've got 280 kilometers worth of range. The WLTP on this is over 300, so I've been getting around between 260, 270. And then also you can see that this is in the energy mode and you can change what you want, personal 2, personal 1, minimum, navigation, as we mentioned, driving, dials, energy, and back up to that there. So depending on what one you pick will dictate as to what you see on the dash. So if you're interested in driving, it thinks that this is the information that you want to see. So it'll be the lane assist, it will be the adaptive cruise control, all that kind of stuff. The speed sign recognition. So there's a lot of good extras and driver assists in this car. And then as we mentioned, we've got the beautiful 10-inch infotainment system. So if you bring up the there are the different apps. You've got Apple and Android when your phone is connected. And let's see, here we go, a bit better. And then we have our aircon, and so you can increase or decrease, and you can have that as auto, the temperature and where you want that to go, and whether you want aircon on or not. Music, so you've got your radio stations, your presets, etc. Your navigation is built into this. On the 208, I had to attach my phone to it. You also have your car settings, you've got your phone details, you've got your apps as mentioned, and you've got your EV related stuff as to what this car is doing. Watts per kilowatt you can see along down over here, and then you've got your charge information and then what flow you're in. I really love this display. It's a good width, it is a good color definition, you can change it as to what you want on it. It also has this, it's nearly like those prototype steering wheels that you see at the motor shows around the world, where this will be the steering wheel instead of this, where it's kind of like a rectangular shape handle system. You have indicator lights and other status lights built into the side as that as well, such as indicators, etc. The main display, as I mentioned, you can change it as to how you want that view. On the left hand side you will have the battery and the range, and on the right hand side then you will have the charge, power level, etc. Because you're higher up, the seating position I think is a nicer seating position. The steering wheel is that flat bottom, flat top setup. It has on the left hand side your voice control and your volume and the menu selection for the actual board, for the dashboard. And on the right hand side then you're going to have your phone and you can change who you're dialing, all that kind of stuff. There are two rotary thumb wheels. Got two stalks then, one for the lights on the one side and the right wipers on the right hand side, and then you've got your cruise control stalk on that as well. I remember that cruise control, it's very similar to a car that I had back 20 years ago, a Peugeot 307, back before my EV days. It has the yellow stitching on the steering wheel, and that yellow stitching is brought throughout the dash, and it has a GT steering wheel even though it is a GT line car. Up here you have your microphones for your hands-free. You also have your status as to whether there's somebody with or without a seatbelt, and whether there's a door open. You have your SOS button and you have a Peugeot button, and I believe that goes towards breakdown assist services. On the right hand side, you've got all your electric windows and your adjustable mirrors and the retractable electric mirrors information, and a button to lock the windows, up and down windows motion. In the center, you have a fairly decent large cubby hole. You've got a little coin holder there. Won't fit on that side, but will fit on that side. You've got your drive mode button, you've got your electric handbrake, you've got your drive selector with your 4 park, reverse, neutral, and D for stage 1 and B for stage 2. You've got your 12 volt, and you've got your charging cable section in here. You've got your USB type C, you've got your USB type A, you've got all your piano keys, your recirculating air, your temperature, aircon max, hazard, central locking. You've got your front and rear window defogger. Then you have your EV related stuff, you have the apps, you have your phone, you have your car settings, you have your nav, and you have your temperature, and you have your audio, and you've got passenger heated seats, and on the other side then you've got your driver heated seats. There's your turning knob for those that want the turning knobs, and that is the lovely 10-inch display. The difference between this and the 208 that I've reviewed, the screen was a 7-inch, whereas this is over a 10-inch, and on the 7-inch you've got touch buttons on the left and right hand side, whereas on this car those buttons are now in front of those piano key buttons. So you've got your audio, you've got your climate, you've got your navigation. Now there is no navigation built in. Actually, apologies, there is navigation built into this model. You've got your car settings, you've got your phone, you've got your apps, so it'll go with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which is already built in, and then you've got your heated seats version as well. So lots going on there, and some people like the fact that there are tactile buttons, the piano key button ones, but the buttons behind that are, you don't even get a haptic feedback, so they are literally a touch like a screen. Up on the screen itself, you have a lot going on. It's a good size, it's a lot of colors, you can have different profiles, all that kind of good stuff there, but it's pretty much displaying exactly what you are, what you've got on or what you've pressed. So if it's radio, it'll show you the different radio stations and the options on there as well. It has a frameless mirror. The seating position, as I mentioned, is a nice seating position because you are high up. It has an ISOFIX seating attachments in the front and 2 in the back. So again, like the Opel Corsa E and the sister E208, it has 3 ISOFIX seatings. The dash is nice. It's got a nice quality feel. It's got carbon effect all the way around. At nighttime, it has ambient lights. Yeah, so it's two-part leather effect seats. I really like it. It is going up against the likes of the Hyundai Kona and the Ioniq and the e-Niro and the Soul. It also is potentially going up against the ID3 and the Nissan Leaf. So it's great to see more cars coming into the market at this size and this level of price. Let's jump in the back and let's look at the size of the seats in the back. Here in the back, it's a nice place to be. It has 2 full-size adult seats, even though there's a central one, and it has 3 headrests and 3 3-point seats. But for 2 adults, very good space. It has a bit of a transmission tunnel here. It has storage space in the back of both driver and passenger seats, and it has 2 USB Type A's in the back. Great headroom, touch light, courtesy light, and the door bins aren't the biggest, but they're not bad. Let's have a look in the boot. I know that there's a big increase in the boot size compared to the E208. I like the seats actually. You can see here where the headrest actually fits into the actual shape of the seat as well. It's a nice feature. It has all the airbags, etc., but also has that luminous yellow or lime green stitching as well to identify that you are in the GT line. Nice carpets in the back here as well, with that threading in it. But overall, really good space in the back here. That seat is set for me, and there's about 1 inch in front of my knees. Could it have better support underneath my legs? Potentially, yeah, but the headroom is of a good size. Windows are nice visibility as well. I can see out. It would be nice, I know that the GT has the sunroof and it is an optional extra on the GT line, but just for more light into the actual cabin itself. But overall, it's a really nice seating position, and the quality of the seats feel good as well. There is no armrest in the back here. So let's have a look at the boot and have a look at the space. The boot in the E2008 is bigger than obviously the E208. It comes in at 434 litres, and with the seats down it comes at 1,437 litres. All of the Peugeots come with this Type 2 cable, but an extra if you want to buy a 3-pin, or as we call it, granny cable. It also comes with a false floor if you want to store more stuff in underneath, and you can hold it up there with the clips either side, and it's a handy place if you want to put the parcel shelf in the top there as well. So the Peugeot E2008, the rear, I think looks really well. You've got these 3D sculpted lights at the back. You've also a way of identifying that it is an EV with the E beside it. The 00 is kind of, they're linked together like an infinity symbol. You've got this nice silver kick plate along the bottom, and you can also see the identifier as to what type of model it is, the GT line. There are 4 levels of trim on this car. You've got this black, piano black, that leads across between the 2 taillights, and another way of spotting that it is an EV, you have this dual chrome effect between the silver and this kind of electric blue, greeny blue turquoise. But yeah, overall it's a really nice rear. I really like it. Not too imposing on the road. Really, they're classing it as a small or compact SUV, but it's not far off the same size as your Nissan Leaf, etc. You also have your reversing camera here in underneath the license plate. Let's have a look along the side and see what it's all about. Design-wise, this GT line is coming with 17-inch wheels. These are 215s, 60 17-inch diamond cut. Nice design, not too aero and not too EV looking. Also along the bottom of the actual side of it, you've got this silver cladding on the side of it. What I do like about the E2008 is it has an aggressive design language with this wedge effect at the front and the rear. You can see it on the front there, just coming up in underneath the wing mirror. It has a kind of a black top roof effect, you can see along there, and you can see that the windows may be getting a bit small as they get towards the back. You have this gloss black effect here as well to give it more of a swooping sporty style. This is the passenger side, and you have your charging flap on here, and you've got your CCS and then combo for your AC and DC fast charging. What I will do is I'll go through the fast charging, but it comes with the capability of being able to take up 100 kilowatts, but they wouldn't be too frequent on Irish roads. So really what you'll be going to potentially is the 50 kilowatt fast charging, and that will take up to 50 minutes to get from 0 to 80. If you can find something that will give you up to 100 kilowatts, that'll take about 28 minutes, just under half an hour. 7 kilowatt box at home will take about 7 hours to charge it. Another identifier on the side of the Peugeot E2008 is the electric E there as well. On the E208 or the E208, that would be up on the rear C pillar, but on the 2008 it is down there. From front to back, I like the stance, I like the size. Let's talk about the front now. You'll see that it is the same design, so it has the same claw marks for Peugeot, which is their new design language, and it also has that lion's tooth or saber tooth running daylight light that comes down along here. Front fog lights in this as well. The only difference between this and the 208 is that the distance between the headlights and that running daytime light has been increased, so they're stretched it out. You've got all your sensors at the front. Down along the bottom, you've got that silver accent as well, and you've also got your adaptive cruise control sensor in there. Another way of identifying that it is an electric Peugeot is that you have a color-coded grille with horizontal features, whereas with the petrol and diesel versions, these will be vertical and they will be chrome effect. You also have that dual chrome effect Peugeot logo on there as well. And with the new Peugeot design language, you have the model of the car in along the front. What they don't do here is they don't put the E down here. So you will be able to see that it's slightly blue on the Lion, and that the color-coded grille with the horizontal slats. Lots of more design language, bumps and dips and curves, but I really like the Peugeot. I really like the look of it. It's impressive on the road. I like the running daylights, the daytime running lights. So yeah, let's take it out on the road and see what it's like. But already I'm very impressed. Okay, what's it like to drive the Peugeot e-2008? Foot on the brake. This is the GT line, so you don't get keyless entry. That comes on, that comes on the GT, whereas this is the GT line. Okay. So it comes in 4 different trim levels: the Allure, the Active, the GT line and the GT. Price is starting just over €31,000 after the government grant and the SCAI grants in total. And this is the GT line as mentioned, and this will get you this will come out at about 35,700, and the price goes all the way up to 37,500. What else? Not much. The electric motor is the exact same in all variations. It is a 50 kilowatt hour battery with a 100 kilowatt motor, and that gives you a brake horsepower of about 136 brake horsepower. So it's nifty enough to get around. A lot of cars are coming in around this. It seems to be a nice level of power, and obviously if they've done the research, it's not the fastest, but it's not a slouch. Especially in sport mode, it's coming in around 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 8.5 seconds. So, like, you're not going to be drag racing on the school run with this. I love the seating position. I think it's really nice. I also really like the fact that the interior is pretty much the same as the 208, that they haven't done too much changes with it. That 10-inch touchscreen display is lovely, and as I mentioned, the iCockpit 3D, a big fan of it. Steering wheel is small compared to some vehicles, but it is very nimble and adequate. I think it's a lovely size, and for manoeuvrability, I'm really happy with it. Overall, yeah, I think this is going to be a big player. I think you're going to see a lot of these around if Peugeot Ireland can get enough of them in. I think that it's up against the likes of the Kona and the e-Niro and the Soul. And as we talk, we just passed by a Soul. It's stylish. Wouldn't have the biggest range of all of them, but you know, the guts of 300 kilometers. It's enough for a lot of people. But it's the styling and the fit and finish and what you get, and you get a lot. I like the fact that no matter what what trim level you go for, it's the same battery, it's the same brake horsepower, it's the same range you're going to get. So all you're literally picking is what level of trim you want. You're not the battery. If the battery suits you, then it's just down to picking what level of trim you need. The price for the Peugeot 2008 starts at just over €31,000 here in Ireland as of September 2020, and that is inclusive of the government grants, which is the SEAI and the VRT rebate. Then it jumps up. There's 4 levels. There's the Active, the Allure, the GT line, and the GT. This is the GT line. This is 35,700 after the grants, and then the top of the range GT line is, the GT is just over 37,500. So the differences between this one and the top is keyless entry, larger alloys, a couple of more driver assists features, a wireless charging pad for your phone. So is it worth the guts of €2,000? It's down to you on what you're looking for and what bits and bobs and bits of extra bits that you want in your car. But I think the 17-inch wheels are good. It's a comfortable ride. It actually comes across as a more comfortable ride than the 208 or the 208, because it would be, it just has that bit more of suspension travel. I think it's set up for a bit more of a comfortable ride with the driving seat position and the height. The extra 10 centimeters makes a huge difference. And I'm a big fan of the 208, even for somebody of my height. I think it's a lovely looking car. I think it's a lovely drive of a car. It's obviously all based on that PSA platform that's in the Corsa E, and that's going to be rolled out across a lot of their commercial vehicles as well. But if you're looking for a compact SUV, family hatch with a larger presence on the road, this could be the car for you. Hope you're enjoying the review. If you are, please leave a like, leave a comment. And I'd like to engage with more people on the comment section. It definitely is something I reply to all of them and I respond to them. So if you've got a question, if you've got a query, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think this car is going to be as popular as I think it's going to be? How do you say 208 or 208? Very important matters to discuss in the comment section. Recently passed over 500 subscribers, so I really thank you for that. It shows that there is an appetite out there, and I'm really enjoying working with other Irish YouTubers, and there's a couple of collaboration pieces that are coming up down the road. So that's the review for the Peugeot e-2008. I really like this car, or SUV, whatever you want to call it. I think they're going to sell a lot of them. I think there are a lot of customers out there that are looking for something a bit bigger than the 208 or the 208. I think that you will have your competitors such as your e-Niro and your Soul and your Kona and even your Leaf and your Ioniq. It's a stylish looking car. It's got good range. It's got a great battery size and charging capability. So hopefully you've enjoyed the review. If you do, please leave a like, leave a comment and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thanks for watching.